Good evening, THL, and welcome back to Thursday Throwdown. My name is Dr. Fish. I will be your op and one of your casters for this evening, and I will be joined by the expert BG's player, the uh, one seed for his legacy team, and yet somehow still a 4 seed in hero. We have Nice Jewish Owl. Hello, how are you?
Hello, I'm doing well. And speaking of one seeds in
Yeah.
Legacy, that is exactly what we're about to be casting. We're going to be seeing Neji Boston versus Kazgar, the one seeds for Amber Flight Gaming, Dirty Mike and the boys. And interestingly enough, I'm looking at the Legacy team page right now. Both of the teams are 1 and 2 with exactly 39 points.
Yeah, our teams are dead tied. And it's an interesting tale because AFG, you can see that where Neji's kind of carrying on the points, getting us the points we need every week. Other players, he's getting the wins every week. The rest of us need to pick it up, and we all I know it, and we all kind of know it. Obviously, not putting my team down because we're all fantastic, but yeah, I'm super excited for this match. We'll run through the classes quickly. Kazgar has brought Mage, Paladin, Shaman, Warlock. Neji Boston has gone for Demon Hunter, Druid, Paladin, Shaman. So, right off the bat, we see something interesting.
Yeah, one of these players seems to have forgotten to bring Warlock.
Yes.
And I assume this is intentional, unlike my Legacy match where my opponent accidentally clicked Warrior instead of Warlock last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I hope it's
interesting from Neji to see no Warlock in the lineup.
Mm-hmm.
We just saw the Warlock nerf, and I think the GMs this week, Warlock is still one of, if not the most brought decks. So,
yeah. My guess is that this is fully intentional. Because I know Neji knows how good Shaman is, or how good Warlock is. But yeah, he's come up with a plan. He's generally very good at coming up with plans for his legacy matches. Very, very strong in these closed deck list formats, and he's good at pretty much everything, but especially in legacy. His 30-6 record will definitely say that.
I do think Warlock is also a very linear deck in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Earlier before all of these nerfs, you would have a couple of options for Warlock archetypes. At this point, you're pretty much only bringing Handlock, and it's a deck that has a pretty linear game plan, and pretty much the same weaknesses. I think the issue, though, with trying to target Warlock is that game plan is really, really good, and those weaknesses are not much, and you can usually throw in a couple tech cards if you think your opponent's going after it.
For sure. We are just waiting on the players to do bans. We have yeah, just waiting on Kazgar and Neji to do their bans, and then we'll be good to start. Any thoughts on these bans? I mean, we see it seems pretty linear for bans, but there could always be times we just see a little bit of a twist thrown in for the bans.
Yeah, I mean, I think I definitely expect a Warlock ban from Neji. I
Yeah.
don't think there's options for any of these classes that will consistently beat Warlocks. Khazgar's ban is a little more interesting because there isn't that Warlock present, and
Hmm.
his Mage bring makes me think that a Shaman ban is also unlikely. I honestly wouldn't be surprised to see a Druid ban from Khazgar. I think Druid is, depending on the build of Druid, of course, it's a deck that is going to really, really oppressively beat your mage and
Yeah.
lose to everything else. And if you think your opponent is going after your mage, you should ban its worst matchup, and that would be Druid.
Hmm. Yeah, I could completely see that. Um, I think I would expect the Shaman to be left up because Quest Shaman does have a really poor matchup into Mage, but there I mean it doesn't have to be Quest Shaman. It is technically the best archetype overall, but it doesn't it doesn't do the best into Mage. So if there's a if Khazgar's making some reads about maybe you look at these line decks and say, oh, they all have pretty good matchups into my Mage. Maybe I want to leave the Shaman up, but we do know there are more than one Shaman deck that can be played.
Yeah, and with that being said, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some sort of inclusions in that mage from Khazgar
Yeah,
to
for sure. I
help
agree.
against at least one of these decks. Whether
Yeah.
that's some like Vipers in case of Doom Hammers, whether you're
Hmm.
throwing in Bakers for just healing if your opponent's trying to aggro you down. I'd expect something in there if he's expecting that mage target.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think we're gonna see some tech cards in the mage because the list. I mean, it does leave room for a couple tech cards in the end. It's not surprising to see them included anymore. So yeah, like you said, Vipers for Doomhammers. Potentially, Spice Bread Breaker has been a pretty common inclusion for a tech card as well. Um, I mean, I've seen Mag Therodon, but I don't really see that being too. Maybe that's not super crucial into some of these matchups. But
Hmm.
it might. Um, but still waiting on the ban phase up from our players, and then we'll be able to send them right off into their match. Um, both players are all set up with their cameras, so probably just getting the ban done now, hopefully. Um, and should be on our way shortly. Right.
All right.
Yeah, this is interesting. Being the first match in this Amber Flight Gaming versus Dirty Mike and the Boys match in general. Um, I'm guessing
Yeah.
I'm the next match up after this, but that's not the big deal right now. Um,
And yeah, looking at the standings, these teams are currently in fifth and sixth in
yeah,
silver. Although
yeah,
this is in silver where the point totals for all of the teams is
close.
way more compact than the other conferences.
Yes.
Because the lowest team is 2 points below them with 37, and then the highest team is only 17 points above.
Oh
So a
yeah,
big week
yeah,
here could.
and Redfish was at 34 to start the week, and they have a win already, so they're
Okay.
at exactly 39 for the if we count this. So um
Yeah, so getting the win here could definitely, if one of these teams is able to get a big week, they could pretty easily. Um, I don't want to say make a comeback because we're still pretty early in the season, but the
yeah.
points here are important. And I'm looking now. There are only 2 teams in the Silver Conference with 2 wins.
Yes,
Every other team has
1 win,
1 or less.
1 or less, and that would be because Hot Zolfs has 2 ties.
Yeah. Hot Zolfs has 2 ties.
They do, yeah. They tied the first 2 weeks. I don't know if that's ever happened before in THL, and they almost had 3 ties, but they got there by a couple of points last week.
I will say, my team is playing against them this week, and there was a bit of conversation on our team of, hey, wouldn't it be really funny if we tied them again?
Oh my gosh. I guess that would just be more Hearth Center news.
Yep.
Okay. There we go. 1 ban is in. Waiting for Khazgar's bans to come in. And then we won't have to make these players wait because we've gotten everything out of the way. See them I will put up. All right. I'm going to be placing the posting the ban on the screen that Neji has gone with, and just gonna wait because Khazgar says that his Discord takes a bit to upload, so we'll be left in suspense for a few more seconds or so. Okay. So I will go right off and say Neji has banned Warlock as you expected. But we're still waiting on Khazgar's ban. All good though. Players all readied up, both of them added. All right, bans are in.
All right.
Paladin is banned.
Paladin. That's not what I expected to see banned, although I can definitely see it. Because depending on the Paladin, it could be rough for both Mage and the Warlock.
Yeah. But good. But we have the bans in. It's gonna be It's gonna be a Mage, Paladin, Shaman for Khazgar. It's gonna be Demon Hunter, Druid, and Shaman for Neji Boston. And I have given them the go-ahead. So we'll see. Any predictions on first queues?
I think I'd expect to see Paladin from Khazgar. Because Paladin should be pretty good into most types of druids, demon hunters. You'll lose to the shaman, so you could consider queuing the mage first if you expect the shaman to come out first.
Yeah.
But I think I'd go with either paladin or mage here.
Gotcha. Well, we have the eyeballs first to spectate for those watching. Neji Boston is going to be first to spectate. He will be on the bottom, and Khazgar will be on the top. Here we go, game 1.
Okay, so we're going to see mage versus demon hunter.
Okay.
We're talking a bit about what sort of demon hunter we expected. And this looks like some sort of fell BH from Neji Boston. Although I'm seeing this relentless pursuit, and that's throwing me off a little bit.
I
Since I
am.
don't think that
I know it's
usually.
kind of throwing me off too. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not 100% sure. We see a
If
full
you took away
toss
the
though.
talented Arcanist, I'd maybe say like, oh, this is some sort of soul demon hunter that we're seeing. But yeah, I'm interested in this deck because we've got 2 relentless pursuits in here, so we're going face.
Yeah, I wonder if this is just teched for this specific matchup.
This is an interesting decision because you have to pick, do you want the Crimson Sigil Runner to give your opponent a target? Or do you want the Chaos Leech that's probably going to sit in your hand most of the game?
Yeah.
I grow impatient. Time grows short.
And I think... Alright, we're gonna get a, we're just gonna get it, we're just gonna keep it in the hand. Neji doesn't want to give Khazgar the ability to play a free spell so early on. And it looks like Khazgar's gonna go ahead and trade away his Fire Sail. And picks up an Ignite, so that'll be useful for later. But no quest progression. His Neji goes ahead and quickly plays Chaos Strike.
Okay, yeah, so with this Fell Scream with Talented, I'm assuming this is some sort of Fell Demon Hunter, but we're just running Relentless Pursuits as additional damage from hand. So probably looking to help this mage matchup a little bit more.
Yeah. Neji has a couple of options here. I'm not... There's, with the, especially with the Fell Barrage being picked up, that's a good, always a pretty good thing to have the option of just gonna lay out the Warblades and not worry about things right now.
I'm not sure how much I like playing out the Warblades here, just because we're likely not taking damage for the next couple of turns, and we don't want to be wasting our swings with these.
Yeah.
Um, Although, to be fair, we're probably going to be taking some damage this turn.
Yeah, so Khazgar hovering the Ignite, we'll go ahead and play it. I'm gonna go ahead and play the Wand Thief. My guess is we're gonna look that he's going to be looking for a Brain Free or something to play on the minion, but he does not find it. Studies, Missiles, and Flame Strike. Are you, I guess, would you say I think Studies would be his best pick
Yeah, I
here?
think Studies is I think Studies is like the only reasonable option there. Your opponent is
For sure.
played a Chaos Strike and a Warblades. I don't think you're expecting them to be playing minions you gotta devolve right now.
Yeah, agreed.
I'd like to see Phoenix picked here, honestly.
I might like Guild Trader as well. I think those two are both good picks. Yeah, he went with one of those two. Second Arcanist picked up. Honestly, there isn't a whole lot that's threatening Neji here, but he's also, we can see he also doesn't have perhaps that much to threaten back. So I think getting out the Immo Aura is nice here. And I like getting in as much damage as possible. Or just with two hero power, with the hero power helping to swing and just chunk out this mage, because this Demon Hunter just has to stay healthy as possible and put as much damage into Khazgar as possible before we see Barrier, essentially.
And we do see that barrier in hand for
Yes,
Khazgar.
we do.
Ooh, Metamorphosis.
Only a Phoenix.
That is a card that I think is very, very good in this matchup. Against Mage, it's usually a race of I get in as much damage swinging as I can early, and then try and just burn you out afterwards.
Yes. We're not quite at that point where Neji's going to need to stop attacking face. because he doesn't have a lot. He doesn't have that much damage. Where he's probably gonna have to push through this ice barrier. Very likely.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, we do have, what is this? 16 damage from hand right now.
Oh well, that card.
Ah, there we go.
That card. That's a good card.
Nice. Oh.
Oh.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. This is like almost lethal. He doesn't even have to swing anymore. Yeah.
This is 30 damage next turn, if my math is correct.
Yeah.
Well, this game became a lot easier.
This game became a lot faster than we were expecting with that Skull of Gul'dan on 6. Neji's just gonna be able to lethal here with Talented Arcanist and Fellscream Blast with Oogie. I'm pretty sure, right?
Man, I was looking at these lines of like, well, we could use Arcanists plus Fell Barrage, and that lets us get some damage in on the face, but I don't think we need to.
Neji saw Skull and said that card and played it. So, Khazgar is going to complete. He's actually going to have to. He's going to brain freeze his minion possibly to get this done, and he'll have only the second part of his quest completed with the playing of a frost spell. I'm going to trade and look for a different thing. He doesn't find anything. I don't think he really wants to have to brain freeze his own minion just because it's so much spell damage. So might just try and send a bunch of damage face here potentially.
Yeah, I mean, we've ever considered.
He's gonna have to. He goes for the completion, but it completes, so he's not gonna get to choose what he discovers. He's just gonna get some card, and it gets Mirror Entity.
I definitely would have liked to see a Fireball go face there as well.
Yeah, I think so too. Just to like, obviously we know that he's dead, but he doesn't know he's dead, so he has to like. I think getting a Fireball out there would have been fine. But there we go. Game 1 is in the books. Neji Boston's Demon Hunter gets through.
Yeah, that was an interesting build to Demon Hunter. I'm very much interested by those Relentless Pursuits, because that's a card that I haven't really seen in these builds.
Yeah, I haven't either. And it didn't play a big role, but I guess Skull kind of played the biggest role, as most times it does in these matchups.
Yeah. And now I think we're... I don't know if Khazgar is going to want to run it back with Mage.
Yeah, I don't know either. I would suspect no, but I mean, players have done this in the past. They just play the decks. They might end up playing it until they kind of just lose. I'm not 100% sure if that's how everyone does it. Or like he might try to get this mage through, but as fast as possible. But I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, looks like we're going to see Shaman versus Druid.
Okay.
Oh boy, this is a fun Druid deck.
Yes.
Considering the cards I see in hand, I assume we're going to be seeing a Cthulhu get shuffled in at the start of the game here. And this deck is slightly favored into Quest Shaman as well.
Feel the power of the wild world.
I think as far as mulligans, I'd expect to see a single keep with the Anacondra from Neji. Khazgar, you don't know what sort of druid it is. I would consider keeping that Perpetual Flame because of how strong it is against aggro druid. But if you think it's going to be Miracle Druid, then I'd drop it.
Yeah. You were right. The single Anacondra keep from Neji. And the Perpetual Flame was kept, I guess, as well. No, the whatever it's called. The investment opportunity was thrown back, but it just came right back to his hand. And we did see the Cthulhu get shuffled into the deck at the beginning of the game. So we have Miracle Druid from Neji, and we have Quest Shaman from Khazgar.
Well, there's the alignment.
There's the alignment, everybody.
We get card draw. Druid wins.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be interested to watch Khazgar navigate this matchup, because one thing you have to be really careful of as the shaman is if you overload yourself and your opponent plays alignment, you have to skip your next turn because you stay overloaded.
Mm-hmm.
So timing those overload cards, and especially with this overdraft, if you're able to time things so that you're not overloaded on the turns you're concerned about alignment coming down, it can be very impactful.
And we do see the overdraft traded back into deck. Neji just playing out his hero powers. He does have to be aware that 6 mana alignment wouldn't be playable next turn due to it being from nature studies.
Yeah, no bloom alignments.
No bloom alignments this turn. Can do it on 5, just not this turn. We're gonna see we're to see the rest of the. Yeah, I think we're gonna see that the quest completed here, if I'm not mistaken.
Step's done. Yeah.
Step done. All right.
Well, this is a pretty easy turn for the druid. Hey, there's a bunch of 3 minions on board. I think he'll hard.
I think we'll just play Heart of Cthulhu, so very nice for Neji. Going into his alignment turn, he doesn't really have any draw, unfortunately. So, he might take a few turns to wait to look for it. He doesn't have his gadgets in, but he does have Anacondra.
Yeah.
And this Shaman does have some good stuff here.
Yeah, I think depending on what we see from Khazgar this turn would affect whether or not I think we alignment next turn.
Okay, makes sense.
If the Slogger comes down, I'd probably want to alignment, because then, as we said, you're making your opponent skip their next turn as well.
For sure. But I would guess if we see something like Wand Thief with the hero power, or this Primal Dungeoneer, which we do see the Dungeoneer come down. Nourish. There is a draw card.
With that Nourish, how I wouldn't have minded just alignmenting there, because then we can play Anaconda plus Nourish to draw.
Yeah.
But with this line, we can just innervate into alignment, and then we're not worried about being overloaded.
Oh, true. Yeah, he doesn't. Yeah, blooming it in. Yeah, that'd be tricky if you had to bloom into that. Yeah.
You don't pick the ones.
And eventually, when this deck Miracle Druid does pop off, it's just gonna be a lot of cards played. I'm sure you're gonna be a bit more able to talk about things when that happens. There's a Cenarian Ward. We're just definitely innervating out this alignment.
Yep, and then next turn we're playing that Anacondra, we're playing that Nourish.
And we're popping off,
we're
essentially.
drawing our deck.
Yep.
Or we're hopefully drawing our deck.
Yeah, and there was an overload, so that did skip Khazgar's turn, essentially.
Ooh, and that Fungal Fortunes, I think, depending on the draws here, this is potentially lethal this turn for the Druid, if not a lethal setup for next turn. It is a little reliant on getting a little more card draw if we hit one of the Gadget Sands or Malagos, if we happen to be running it.
Yeah.
This is potentially lethal depending on APM.
Yeah, Neji's been
practicing. We just don't hit any card draw.
I think Neji's really been working and practicing on this deck, but it doesn't. I'm wondering if he's just gonna go for something like. Yeah, he's gonna Lunar Eclipse that. He's gonna play his eye and hope that it clears off some stuff. It leaves up the 2/1 and the 1/3. But this is, this could be a little interesting here, honestly.
I mean, I think the risk is pretty minimal. We've seen
yeah,
Quest Shaman decks like top off at 4 drops
True.
in terms of curve.
yeah,
So it's not like playing against, when you would play against Rush Warrior, you would play the alignment and they would go, okay, slam a Troublemaker.
yeah,
Like, oh man, my opponent has a 1-mana Canal Slogger.
yeah.
Not
You're
ready
right.
to end.
That's an Infiltrator Lillian.
Oh, well, there's Malagos.
There's
So now we
Malagos.
win.
Well, yeah. Neji just clears everything off. Lightning Blooms Malagos, and yeah. Neji's gonna probably get through his entire deck almost here.
Yeah, we're mainly just waiting on the Gadget Sand to be able to
Yeah, we are.
truly get through our entire deck.
True.
And without Anaconda,
Through
it's
a
a
lot
little
of it
harder.
anyways. Solar, Feral, Maw,
And
Feral, Shell.
to be fair, we can also just Solar Cenarian, and that's probably good enough.
Yeah. Never
Or
a
we
reason
could
to go
even-
like. Well, I would have maybe liked to see Solar Cenarian. When do you second alignment in this matchup?
You second alignment if either you have a lethal setup on board and you say there's no way you're able to answer this with one card, or if you have Cthulhu in your deck, you can play that second alignment to set the Cthulhu
that
to
second
1 mana.
that second pick up the 12/12 is so unfortunate, but it's okay.
Yeah.
12/12 cannot attack face, but there's still quite a lot of damage on board. That's 13, 17, 21 on board. So Feral Rage would be lethal.
Yes. Yeah, I do think another concern with second alignment last turn is we are overloaded, so we would then have to skip the next turn.
Yeah, I don't mind this at all.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see any options where the Shaman is not just dead here. Maybe not necessarily dead on board right now, but I don't think Shaman is ever winning in this position.
Yeah, it's tough because that 12/12 gets a lot of use here, and Lillian's also pretty useful here because it'll spawn a minion that'll it'll attack right away. So I wouldn't be surprised just to see like a couple of trades here, with the 12/12 and Lillian to see what happens. That hits the other taunt minion, so that's just game. Neji could just solar Feral, and that would be the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's going to be GG.
Yeah.
We see that Miracle Druid picking up a win.
For sure. Very, very well navigated, I would say.
So now it's just going to come down to Neji Boss and Shaman. We'll have to see what sort of Shaman it is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, considering the lines of play we've seen so far, I'd expect it's Doomhammer if we're trying to go after that mage.
Yeah. I am also quite curious to see what Shaman deck this is. Because...
This is Quest Shaman.
Okay.
You asked for it.
Okay.
Yeah, an interesting choice, I guess, if the rest of your lineup is going after mage. I don't know how well it fits in, although...
Yeah, I mean, it's
likely,
good into the other stuff, too.
Yeah, I'd expect, if given 3 games, and one of them is against Paladin, which is, most Paladins are going to be favorable for the Quest Shaman, I'd expect to see the Shaman get a win, but it's probably not going to against this mage.
Yeah, definitely. Mages... I was playing this matchup, and it was just feels so abysmal to play.
You don't pick the
As the Shaman. But my deck also doesn't have certain cards that I'm sure Neji's will have. So what makes this matchup so difficult for the Shaman? What would you say makes this most difficult for the Shaman to navigate?
I mean, the main strength of Shaman is how efficient the board clears and the tempo plays are. you know, the perpetual flame turn 3 that doesn't overload you is really one of the best things that Shaman's able to do. And against a deck like Mage that plays virtually no minions, a lot of that power is sort of lost.
Mhm.
And then that's combined with Mage's game plan of playing quest reward and burning you out is a little faster than Shaman's in most cases. So you kind of just lose the race.
Yeah. All right. Neji has used his. Looks like did he use his? He went investment opportunity. Okay, so he just played investment opportunity, and he's considering what he wants to play. He might just totem here instead, but we're gonna go see a Bloom Slogger. Okay. Gonna complete the. Not gonna complete the quest yet, unfortunately, but he does have 1 mana cards that will next turn.
From Khazgar, I'd expect we're going to see Arcane Intellect. Probably Arcane Intellect Flurry.
Probably a
And then we're
Flurry,
done with
yeah.
the next step of the quest.
Yeah.
And we can then finish that step next turn with Frostfire Arcane.
Mm-hmm. Neji's gonna throw down the Zapper here.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we just see a charge call for a 4-drop.
Yeah, I
It
think
seems better.
I think the charge call is the best play here. Neji's hovering over it and looks like he's gonna go ahead and play it. He gets Hothead, Baker, and Infiltrator. He takes the Hothead, most health represented.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're gonna see a
Coin refreshing.
refreshing water.
And
There's a flow.
yeah, I think
I don't
it's
think
probably worth just playing Flow plus either Brain Freeze or Second Flame. I think Flow is a little better than progressing the next step of the quest.
I would agree, especially because it helps towards it already. It's an arcane spell that goes towards it.
Seems like Khazgar is considering the options.
Okay, we're gonna
That's
Rune
really
Orb the
Rune
3/4. Binds, Barrier, Arcane Intellect, and Apex's Blast. I would expect to see the Barrier taken, yeah. Okay, so we're just gonna...
Can't really take that Apexis because
No.
I believe we saw there were Wand Thieves in that deck.
Yeah, I believe there was Wand Thief. At least that we saw. So Flurry there, that's a good
Yeah.
the Frost spell, they don't really need another Frost spell, but going into the next part of the quest could have even maybe opted for it right there potentially, but I guess there is no guaranteed hits both, so you don't want to play that. Because if it just freezes the 6/1, then it's unfortunate.
Yeah, and yeah, I'd expect next turn we're just going to see Flow, Flurry, and Ignite come down.
Yeah.
Although hopefully we played the Ignite before the Flow, so don't do the order I said, but complete
Yes.
the next step of that quest.
Agreed.
And then we're set up to play that reward the turn after.
Mm-hmm.
And the Shaman really doesn't have enough pressure to stop that game plan.
It really doesn't.
Mage.
It's maybe looking like Note Taker with Lightning Bolts this turn.
Repeat that.
1 or 2 Lightning Bolts, honestly. Okay, we're not gonna complete that part of the quest just yet. The only 1 Lightning Bolt played. It does put the mage down to 23, but really in no danger. And there is Fire Sale in hand for later on.
Yeah.
Pretty much whenever the mage wants to clear it. This turn, I agree. I think your game plan was probably definitely one of the better lines to find for sure. Flow is just so good.
We don't play Ignite anymore.
Okay.
We play the first and second flame.
Second flame. Okay.
To kill the 1-helds, and then Flurry will freeze the last 2 minions.
Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And it does complete as well because Flurry is a frost spell indeed. Oh. This mage is getting frozen out, and now Varden Dawngrass comes out next turn, and that's just like putting the Shaman on such a timer.
I don't think Ogremancer does enough.
No, I don't think it. I don't think
in there.
I don't think it does right now either. And I also appreciate it. Forgot about this, but it looks like we're gonna see potentially a hard cast, either a traded. I wouldn't hard play the Fire Sale, but we're probably gonna see Dawn. We might just see like something like Dawngrass plus
What to do?
Dawngrass and maybe a Primordial here. Or you trade.
Studies here.
Plays nothing. Okay. Well, Guidance is
like
extremely strong.
Because I think next turn the mage is gonna studies for a cheap spell damage and then play Fire Sale to full clear this board.
Gotcha. Looks like Neji's considering how to probably deal with this 7/7 while also. Yeah, I think leading Guidance is good here. It's Overdraft, Tiny Toys. Both are pretty good. Tiny Toys is not the best potentially here, but could complete the quest here for Brucon. I don't think it's wise to play it, but Fireheart being played here. Fireheart is also pretty good here. Get a Tidal Surge, Overdraft, Evolve.
Probably, yeah, it's probably just Overdraft for 1 damage. Yeah, we can bolt first and then Overdraft.
And you probably just trade the just trade with the. Oh no, you get the. Oh, that's just the Ellie. You trade the nothing. He trades nothing. It looks like.
Looks like we might have roped out there. I'm not sure because we also left that Varden.
Oh, I don't. Yeah, I think Neji just wants to get as much damage face as possible. Because Fire Sale will also clear the Varden, and there's just not much way that it's getting into the actual, like... There's not much way that it's gonna survive to attack face.
Okay, that... Hitting that one thief complicates things a lot, because now you have to try and hit a lab partner off of this Primordial Studies if you want to full clear with Fire Sale. It doesn't hit it.
Doesn't hit it.
So Fire Sale is going to end up just killing everything except Ogre.
Okay. I think you still want... I think you still want to play it, though. You gotta get rid of this board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think there's an option where you don't Fire Sale this board.
Yeah.
You're just sad that it doesn't kill the 3/1.
Yeah.
So potentially, if we see double Inara off of this Tiny Toys, there is lethal.
Maybe, yeah, but that would be quite interesting. Where to see second Ogremancer?
Although these will get cleared. Please.
Yes.
Just go Solarian Fire Sale this turn.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Solarian and then maybe Ignite, Cram Session, throw a few spells down before we play that second Fire Sale.
The difficult part is that Neji didn't draw another like he needs another overloaded card to get the quest completed. But I don't think I think like quest completion isn't that huge in this matchup, but it might be pretty big. Like the fact that Neji hasn't gotten there yet, Double Ignite being played just as is, all of this will just get cleared. And now Neji has no board to deal with Solarian. Probably just might have to Storm Strike it. Not Storm. Could Storm Strike it. Could play Portal as well.
Solarian dies to the Fire Sale.
Oh, it does. You're right. So Solarian Prime put in the deck leaves Neji nothing to Storm Strike unless he wants to make his own Totem. Charge Call is pretty good.
Okay. We play Serpent Shrine. If we Charge Call into Alakir, we have lethal.
Okay.
I think you gotta go for it.
Sure. That seems pretty good.
I mean, I don't really see a line that's better than just making an 8-drop as well this turn.
Yeah, I agree.
All right,
Harsh.
let's see. All right.
Oh, he found
There
it!
we go.
Oh my gosh, he found it!
That's lethal.
He found it! Man, everybody I cast with finds these random lethals, and it works. I love it. Corden called one last week. You called it this week. That's a sweep.
That is a sweep from Neji.
Hot damn. Well, you know, I think he has to be relieved to have won that unfavored matchup.
Yeah.
For sure. And like being a caster, you don't necessarily like to see matchups just kind of feel one-sided like this. But as an AFG player, I'm thrilled for that Neji gets us such a great start to the week.
Yeah, definitely a big victory there. You know, the 1 seed is one of the most competitive spots in Legacy. So being able to get a clean sweep in that 1 seed is huge for a team.
Yeah, for sure. And Neji has agreed to an interview. So, I just copied that. There we go. We add him. Greetings.
What's up?
What's up? So, obviously, first off, congrats on the win, and even more so on a sweep.
Thank you.
So I guess it was pretty. It's interesting. Your lineup definitely seemed to be a bit of a mage target lineup. Just with the Miracle Druid and the Demon Hunter, not bringing Warlock. I'm curious. I guess were you kind of more expecting a Shaman ban? Is why you still brought the quest line. In this case.
Mhm. Yeah, I was thinking he was going to ban Shaman. He went with the Paladin, which worked out fine. But yeah, the Shaman was definitely the weakest deck into the Mage. I did have 2 Ogre Masters in there, which you saw,
Yeah.
which were hopefully going to help me. I mean, it sort of helped. It made him do some awkward turns, and then I got that nice Alec here at the end. I was praying for it.
Yeah. Owl called that right during the cast. He was like,
Mhm.
if Neji gets his charge call to an 8-drop, finds Alec here, that's lethal.
Yeah, I was like, I'm probably dead next turn, so I need to kill him right now, and that was the only thing I saw to kill him.
Wow, yeah. That wouldn't have phased me on the spot, and that's why you guys are really good players. Owl, any questions? I'll let you go ahead and ask.
Yeah, I have to ask about the Relentless Pursuit in Demon Hunter.
Mhm.
That's not a card I've seen in Fell Demon Hunter. I might not be up to date on lists, but that was interesting. Was that to help that mage matchup?
Yeah, that was pretty much only for the mage. I don't think the card's very great because it's not a fell spell itself, so it's kind of dead in some other matchups. But against the mage, I'm just trying to smork them as fast as I can and get through those ice barriers if they find them, and I think it would have done the job. But luckily, I got an insane skull discount, so it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I definitely got some really fortunate things happen to me that game. Like that skull was pretty insane, hitting the Moarg and the Elganoth, and then obviously the Alakir at the end. But yeah, I think he played well. It was a good series, I think.
Yeah, it was a blast. I mean I know your proclivity towards Miracle Druid, so it was just a blast watching you like navigate that deck after the alignment play.
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of that deck. I think I could have done something differently. there was like a slight misorder on the Anaconda turn. Like I could have nourished first in case I found Auctioneer, and then I would have got an extra card drawn because I think I played a spell or two before that. And then also on the last turn, I'm pretty sure I could have made a different play that was like 100% winning. It was like, or the second last turn, I could have gone instead of Solar Cenarian, I think I could have gone like Solar Feral Rage and then played Alignment, and then he would have been overloaded. I think it was like close to lethal. I wasn't counting because I didn't want to like backtrack in my head, but
Yeah.
I think the play I made was also not gonna lose either, so I think it was fine.
Agreed. And I think if you actually went for the I guess yeah, if you go for Feral Rage there, you put him down low enough where you have the damage on board, even though you're overloaded the next turn after alignment there.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything he could have done with
Yeah,
2 mana to
for sure.
win that game. And then he was just locked out with alignment the next turn again, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, luckily he brought Quest Shaman. I was kind of scared of like an aggro Shaman, I'm not gonna lie, but the Quest Shaman worked out for me.
Yeah.
I got the matchup I wanted to. I queued the Druid second. It was Druid or Shaman, and I was kind of worried he was going to bring Paladin in, and I'd have my Druid, and I was going to get rolled. But luckily, he didn't queue Paladin there. So queue order worked out a little bit too.
That's good.
So I will say I assume the paladin you brought then was some sort of secret paladin if you're looking to go after the mage with it.
Yeah, I mean I don't mind telling what the list was. It was just like secret paladin with like 4 or 2 post, 4 post, and like ogre-mancers and stuff just to
Mage tech.
aggravate mages.
Mage tech.
Nice.
We love
Yeah,
to
it was
see
just
it.
like screw mage paladin.
Yeah.
But sadly, it didn't get to see the light of day. Got banned away.
Yeah. But it was really fun to watch. Both sides, like for sure. Obviously, more games would have been better for Dirty Mike and the boys because that would have meant points. But it's great. At least, obviously, it's great from my perspective to see our team get a strong start. So hopefully we can follow up your win and take this week.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
Glad I can start off on a strong note for us.
For sure.
Yeah, and you're now 4-0 in the 1 seed.
Mhm.
I believe.
Yeah, Legacy's going a lot better than
Hero.
Hero Series. I'm not gonna lie. Hopefully, I'm not 4-0 in Legacy and 0-4 in Hero after this week, but we'll see.
We'll help you. We'll get you to that 1-3.
Hopefully.
But yeah. I guess
well, thanks for putting the match on.
Oh, no problem. Any more questions?
Thanks for playing.
Guess that's no more questions.
Yeah.
All right. Well, any shout outs before we go ahead and wrap up, my guy?
Just shout outs to my team as usual for helping out with the prep. We got Marty B as a sub this week and he was helping out too, so appreciate that, and everyone else that hopped in and gave me some advice on my lineup. It was a little bit spicy this week, so I'm glad it worked out.
Yeah. I'm happy as well. All right. So thank you to everyone to coming out and watching. Thank you to Neji and Kazgar for playing and both being willing to play with their cams on. Milo, as always, thank you for casting with me and making my job quite easy. And again, thanks to the viewers for coming out and cheering for your teams and enjoying the match. Unfortunately, we do not have anything else for you tonight, but tomorrow, Friday Night Fights has, I believe, a full slate of matches. Just going to pull that up really quickly. First thing I know we have is going to be 9 p.m. Battlegrounds. I think there's a 7 p.m. match this week, actually. I just have to pull up exactly what they are. We have quite a big slate. 7 BGs at 9, perhaps also a match at 8 o'clock if Saku has secured one. This looks like Mullahu and Why the Hunter at 7, Battlegrounds at 9, and then JR Juggerlaw versus Donde and Hero at 10. So come out for that. That's going to be some combo of Saku, Corridon, and Donde for casting. Obviously, Donde won't be casting his own hero match, but boy, would that be fun. So yeah, we will see everyone tomorrow night for those matches. So until then, stay safe, and hopefully your laddering goes well, everybody. We'll see you next time.